You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Bulldogs here on Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. If you're joining us on YouTube, hi, how you doing? Hit that subscribe button, comment below. Many of you have reached out, love commenting, love interacting with you, our fans. If you're on the audio side, make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And thank you for making us your first listen of the day. Huge help and support to us. This is a reminder that February has started, and we're now in our second month reign, the year of our Lord 2022, of the national championship winning Bulldogs. We're here. We're not going away. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Again, comment below, Bama fan that thinks talking about how our wide receivers don't get 400 yards. By the way, they do. Books are falling, guys. That was wild. Books are falling behind me if you saw that up on the YouTube. Bama fan that thinks you can go ahead and get at us for 400 yards receiving. Maybe our wide receivers will sniff it. Brock Bowers has something to say, and the rest of our team does as we hoist the national championship trophy. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Really, really helps us out, helps you out. Because this podcast is for fans, by fans, nothing else, not gurus or insiders, or apparently very good at being able to stack books the way that they're supposed to so they don't fall over. Hey, today's episode is going to be all about Mike Bobo. Yes, that's correct. Mike Bobo is going to be the conversation that we are most excited about. And I'm going to tell you why. We talked on Monday about McClendon coming home, how huge of a get that was, because we're going to start seeing wide receivers all over the place come home. And probably our best recruiting class ever at wide receivers is very close to being here. But I'm going to tell you why actually Mike Bobo being here is of equal importance. And many Georgia fans are going to get really, really upset. Run the damn ball, Bobo. Third and draw, Bobo. All of that's going to be coming up in your minds. I'm going to tell you why you need to stop with that. You need to slow your roll on that. I'm here to tell you why it's actually of equal importance. McClendon is back with wide receivers and recruiting and development. We listed all that on Monday. I'm going to tell you why it's really, really important because of this. And it has to do with culture and getting the right people in the right places. Now, not many people are going to like to talk down this road because it's not X's and O's. It's not advanced metrics and stats, which are all important. Hear me out. Those are important things. But I'm going to start actually by talking about the Plainsman, Eagle, War Cry, whatever, Tiger people of the Plains. I'm talking about Auburn really quick. Take a look at what's happening to Auburn right now. Okay, Harsons comes down from the blue turf, wants to go ahead and come down to the SEC. I'm sure he's a good coach. Guys, listen to me. I'm sure Harsons is a good coach. He's not a good coach at Auburn. Now, a lot of people are seeing what's happening. They just lost DC. Derek Mason goes to Oklahoma State, which, good night. That's huge. Derek Mason is a great DC. Second best DC in the SEC last year. Automatically the best DC wherever he goes outside of the SEC. Defensive coordinator. But I'm going to tell you why I think Harsons over at Auburn is a good coach. I think he's a fine coach. I think he is able to see what needs to be done the right way for an offense to succeed. But the thing that he's running up against, the thing that's a problem in the SEC and at Auburn and with a whole host of other things is culture and expectations. Winning cures all of that sometimes. Sometimes winning cures all of that. Look at LSU. Look at good old ball coach. He gone after winning a national championship because there were some things that rubbed the right people the wrong way. Look at what's happening right now at Auburn. Look at Bo Nix leaving. That was domino one. The golden boy of Auburn. Now, I don't think Bo Nix is a good QB. It doesn't matter what I think because the powers that be and Auburn fan think that he's great and love him and want him there and talk about his daddy playing there and yada, 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 yada. Go down the list. Harsons is a good coach, but he's in the wrong situation and the wrong place with the wrong expectation, doing it, quote, the wrong way. Now, see, this, again, is very, very interesting to me Because what Kirby is doing now is he understands Mike Bobo is actually a really, really good coach. He's a gifted offensive mind. He knows how to get defenses in position that are going to go ahead and get them vulnerable and to set them up. Now, Todd Monken is better, right? And Todd Monken's not the SEC guy and he's not the good old ball coach, but Todd Monken doesn't have to be with the way that he coaches and the fact that Kirby is there. The fact that Kirby is there, Kirby is the spokesperson for UGA, for everything Georgia, for everything that's good with that, right? That's what Kirby does. Todd Monken doesn't have to be. Harsons is the face of the program, and he doesn't talk the way that boosters in Auburn want. He doesn't go down the road the right way to Auburn want. You have to win, and winning does cure a lot of ills, but if you win a lot and you're not doing it the way that they want, there's still a competitive value system going on. What Kirby has done is he's taken the good old club and he said, guys, you're dang good coaches right away, but you also are Georgia people, and I know you, and we're getting the band back together, and we're pulling you in. It's the same exact thing that Nick Saban did. Again, hey, Auburn fan, how you doing still here? We're still national championship. And Georgia fan, you don't like hearing this. It's the same thing that Bama did. What did Saban do when he went to the Dolphins? What did Saban do as he travels from LSU to Bama? What does Saban do at Bama? He brings in people that he knows, he trusts, and fits with the not only winning, but how to win, because it's really, really crucial for some people. Now, I'm going to use another point. Georgia fan, this is you. You, Georgia fan, when we're winning games and we're not doing it with a 100-yard rusher, you say, well, that's not how we do Georgia football. Yeah, it is. We won. If you go ahead and say, well, it's, we need a receiver, Burton's gone because he doesn't get enough yards. We won. We're the national champions. I don't care where he goes. We're national champions. Now, Kirby is able to do that. And again, I commented a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago now, that when Kirby first got here, he was losing the state of Georgia in recruiting. He wasn't. He's got it on lockdown. And he was going to other states because those other players were making us better. Swift from Philly. You can go down the list of recruits and culture and all that. But what Kirby has decided is he is the face of UGA football. He's doing it the right way. And all of a sudden he gets a gifted mind in Bobo back in the right situation. I'm going to talk about what that situation was bad, where else he went. I'm going to talk about how good the situation was at Georgia for Bobo. I'm going to tell you why this is a home run hire on the same level of McClendon, maybe even better. And I'm going to do so right after this. But first, I want to let you know about Built Bar. Built Bar is the tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. How do I know? I've tasted them all. Daniel and I, my co-host, if he was here, by the way, Daniel, I know you're listening to us while you're on vacation. How you doing, brother? If Daniel's here, he would talk about all the fantastic flavors, the chocolate, the fruits, how good they are all the time, because it tastes like a candy bar. Y'all, it tastes like a candy bar, and it's delicious. It's high in fiber, low in sugar, high in protein. It's a meal replacement on the go, pre-workout, post-workout, whatever you need it to be. Built Bar is your protein bar. It's the best tasting protein bar on the market. And right now, you go to builtbar.com, order whatever protein bar box or mix and match or number you want. Put in the promo code LOCKEDON15, get 15% off your entire order at builtbar.com. The tastiest protein bar on planet Earth. Delicious number of flavors. Let them know we sent you by making sure the promo code LOCKEDON15 for 15% off your entire order. BuiltBar.com. All right, I told you we were going to go down and chronicle the way that Bobo was used while he was at UGA as offensive coordinator, as QB coach. And I want to talk through that. And then I want to talk about his time at Colorado State. I want to talk about his time at Auburn and now coming home and why this is a home run hire and why it's so good. I want to first go through starting in 2007. Okay, Bobo's on campus. He's got Matthew Stafford. UGA finishes number 2 in the nation with Mike Bobo as offensive coordinator, Mark Richt as head coach. 2008. Some highlights of that one. A big year for Georgia. 52 points against a top 10 ranked LSU. LSU, dang good during those years. We have a number of games against Bama to throw in there. We have a number of really, really good SEC teams and that we're vying for in the middle of that. But 2008, 52 points on LSU. If you remember LSU from that time, think back. Think to LSU now. They always get players. Louisiana's on lockdown LSU. Baton Rouge is a place where you go if you are a Louisiana native, and they do defense well. 2012, let's jump ahead. Aaron Murray comes in. Matthew Stafford is gone. Talk about best fit. Segment one, I said it's really, really crucial how you win and importance of culture and those sorts of things. Winning does cure all ills, but not to everybody. Look at Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is going to the Super Bowl in his first year as a Ram. Couldn't do it in Detroit for a whole host of reasons. One, because Detroit is the worst ever. But Matt Stafford under Bobo was look at the draft stock, look at the picks, look at the money, look at everything that happened under Bobo with Stafford. And you could talk about talent. Yes, talent is everything, but he's first year Super Bowl quarterback now, not while in Detroit. It's important. I'm telling you. 2012, Aaron Murray is the next ascension of the statistical anomaly that is Georgia quarterbacks under Mike Bobo. Let's go through a couple point totals from those games, and I want to talk to you about one key team, and it's going to be Auburn, the place that Bobo just left. This is interesting to me as I walk down. 38 points on Auburn in 2012, 28 points on Bama 2012, 45 points in the season ender against Nebraska. Those are good teams. And Mike Bobo, not the most talented offenses in 2012 of the entire tenure. Aaron Murray, if you want to talk about talent, Stafford, more talent than Aaron Murray. 38 on Auburn, 28 Bama, 45 on Nebraska. 2013, 44 points on LSU once more. 38 on Auburn again. 2014, this is now Mason as quarterback. Y'all, come on. 2013 to 2014 all of a sudden hits. And guys, this is the beginning of the end for a lot of coaches at UGA. 2014 was a very, very, very important year. 45 points season opener Clemson, 34 on Mizzou, 43 on Auburn, 37 on Louisville to end the season. And then Bobo goes to the great state of Colorado and has an abysmal tenure as head coach. That place is where head coaches go to die. Okay. That place is a place where you go to die as a head coach. Bobo won his opportunity, got a shot, thought he could do stuff with culture again. It's much like Harson's coming down to the South, much like Bobo going out there. And I'm not saying you can't transcend that. Look, I'm not saying you can't. Hear me out. Please don't come at me and say, well, no. It doesn't mean we have to only do Southern. No, you're exactly right. We've gotten kids from Michigan. We've gotten kids from California. Kendall Milton, how you doing, brother? California boy over in Georgia. I love to see it. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is sometimes you can transcend it. Other times you can't. And Colorado is a place where you go to die as a coach. Great state of Colorado. God bless you guys, Rockies and all that, but not good football programs over there with Colorado State and Colorado. They're just not good places to go. And then he goes to Auburn, and Auburn is a dumpster fire right now. We chronicle that in the first segment. And now Bobo gets to come home as an analyst. Y'all, just sit and think about this for a second. The thing that Bobo does well, if I'm channeling all of Georgia fans, fantastic orchestrator and architect, maybe in-game decisions not his best. You tell me who's really good at in-game decisions on the offensive side. Todd Monken? Yep. And all of a sudden you get him more weapons, not only on the field, but off the field, looking at tape, looking at tendencies, looking at how many points he put up against Auburn every single year he went against them. And by the way, I hate Auburn with all of my heart. Tennessee, Auburn, Florida. Good golly, I can't with you three. All of a sudden, he's back. He's an analyst helping out Todd Monken. Todd Monken knows how to use people. Guys, this is a home run hire all the way across the board. Look at what he was able to do. Look at his time at Auburn. Look at the dumpster fire that is that because of expectations of important people. You can't piss off the right people. Right as in terms of the university, not right according to what should be done. Because these boosters and these people get in the way of good things happening. All right. Like I'll just say it. And the reason why Georgia is set up for success is because we have an AD and people that get behind Kirby and say, King Kirby, go. That's why we have success. That's the culture. I'm not talking about, good golly, Brian Kelly coming down to LSU and picking up an accent everywhere he goes and dancing. That's not what I'm talking about for culture. What I'm talking about for culture is values, the thing that you wake up and you know without having been told. And the culture at UGA is we're going to let Kirby cook. Culture down in Auburn is we know best. We're gonna be all up in your kitchen. And Harsin has to go, Harsin needs to make a decision. He needs to say, nope, get out of my kitchen, or fine, and start changing some things. And right now, I think they're in an in-between. Bobo was in there coming back. So, and by the way, how successful were they with bad quarterback play? Y'all, this is a home run hire. Hey, I'm going to come back after this and let you know more of the fallout, why I think it's really, really important going forward that we have the aforementioned Bobo. Guys, I just don't think I could talk enough how important it is. I don't think you can hear me enough talk about how important it is. I'm all about this. The gang back together, the combination of all of these things, this stew is cooking. But first, I want to let you know about betonline.net. That's right. Hear me out. Betonline.net. It's changed, y'all. It's no longer what we had said before. It is betonline.net. And right now, our fans can go over to betonline.net. It's a place where Daniel and I do all of our wagering. It's a place where Daniel and I bet so much money all the time, and we do locks on this podcast. When March Madness comes around, you better believe we'll do locks. Here's a lock: fire Tom Crean. That's a lock right there. There might not be football playing, but betonline.net has way more stuff to bet on this playoff season. From scored, total, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land. Hello, I told you. BetOnline is number one spot for all things NFL betting 2022, as well as college, as well as golf. And it's not just football. BetOnline.net, basketball, hockey, boxing, UFC odds coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline.net is your number one online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, I'm going to finish up by talking about this stew that we got going, how it's probably going to trickle down all the way to the field. So culture is important. Kirby is building a stew of people that he's coming back, getting his people. And yes, we are built like Alabama, but all of a sudden we get a Georgia flavor on this with our people the right way. And when I say our people, I'm not just saying have been to UGA. All that's important because, again, Todd Monken, hello. What I'm saying are have the same exact values and destination. We're going in the same direction and doing it the same way. I'm going to tell you how that translates, because here's what's going to happen. Kirby knows Todd Monken's not going to be his OC forever. I wish it was. I would sign him to sign Kirby and Todd Monken to a lifetime contract. I'm fine. I am A-okay. But that's not going to be the case. But all of a sudden, you get more and more people in the room. What's the old adage? If you're the smartest person in the room, you've done a bad job hiring. Kirby is getting really smart people in the room. Look at Luke, offensive line, past head coach. Look at Bobo, past head coach. Look at Todd Monken, genius on offense. Look at Muschamp. He's got people around him that he's not afraid of this. And Bobo is another case in which, yes, they are friends. Yes, he has head coaching, but most important of all, he is backfilling. He is building depth everywhere. We're talking about depth on the field. We're talking now depth on the coaching staff everywhere. So if you're talking about development and analysts, all of a sudden you get McClendon, who's going to be coaching people up. You get Todd Monken, who's going to be coaching people up. You get position coaches as well as coordinators, as well as now analysts. And the three-headed monster on offense is only going to take off. I said 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, that this UGA team is more than likely going to be better next year than this year's team, and we won the national championship. Now, again, that does not mean we're going to. I'm saying we're a lock to repeat. I'm fairly certain we're close to whatever a lock is in college football to going 12-0. I'm very confident about that. I'm not confident we're going to win the national championship because that's so dang hard and to repeat. What I am saying is this team is better because of additions like this. Because Bobo is now an upgrade at analyst. Because McClendon is an upgrade at wide receiver. Because Muschamp gets a full year in offseason coaching linebackers and guys, let that sink in. Okay? Todd Monken gets a whole nother offseason with the same quarterback room that he had last year. Do you see what I'm saying? Minus JT. So this has trickle-down effects because of continuity and because of more improvement across the coaching, across new recruits coming in. It's everywhere. And this is going to trickle down onto the field to be more points. I I don't know how we scored a whole bunch of points this year. I think we're going to score more points. Our offense is going to be better next year than it was this year. And that's with the key losses of a George Pickens, with our offensive line, which I think we bring back a better offensive line. With key misses in the running back, I think we bring back a better running back group. I know James Cook and Zeus are good, but I think we bring back better. Our tight ends, I think we bring back better. We're now edging up everywhere. And this, guys, the rich are getting richer. I think this is going to translate to more points on the field for us next year. And I think our defense is going to be lights out once more. And we're going to have a drop off, because best defense ever in college football history was last year. How do you go from the greatest to better? That's going to be a tall task. They're going to drop off. But I think this team's identity is going to be a lot of points. That's my prediction. I'm so thrilled for it. Hey, this has been Clint, Locked On Bulldogs, here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'll be back on Friday talking over some more ramifications and more news from this offseason. We will see you guys then.